Hi YouTube, this is Lyanna again. Today was my second chemo. How I want to do this is to review the previous chemo the day that I get the next one, if that makes sense. That way, later down the line, it'll be like a comparison. I don't know. And then if anyone has questions, I can answer those questions each time that I do a video. That way I have like the week, or the 2 weeks to look back on how it was, instead of saying, chemo today, I feel however, and then not have anything else to say about it. So that's how I'm going to do it. At some point I will attach into a video my PET scan. I met with my radiation oncologist, and they went through the PET scan, walked me through it, and I did get to record that on my phone, so just so you guys can see the results and how that's read and everything. So anyhow, let's start. I have a list of questions. My mom's going to read them to me, and I will answer them, and then that'll, I guess, be the basis for my questions for the next time, so that I remember to cover the same things. So, I guess we'll just go ahead and start.
Okay, number one, how is your port accessed? How does it work?
Oh, okay. All right. And then this was actually a question that was asked of me, and I said that I would remember. I can't remember who asked it at this. I'm a little foggy today because of the chemo, so it's hard for me to remember things and focus a little. But, anyway, I'll note in the description who that answer was for. But so again, this is the port. Can't see it very well now that it's healed. It's healing up pretty well. It's pretty much just an implant underneath my skin, and it's got a tube that goes into a major artery. So pretty much like an internal IV is what it is. So it works just about the same way. There's a little circular area that's a silicone, I guess, access area, and they would stick this large Huber needle, I can't remember how it's pronounced, but they just push into it with the needle to access it, and then it's used just the same way as an IV is.
Isn't it a curved needle like a hook so that it'll hang there?
Well, yeah, it's shaped like this, so since the front of the port goes like that, so it just goes in.
Oh, okay.
And then just the tubes come from it.
Right.
So an internal IV is the basic concept. Okay, next one.
Number two, what drugs did you get?
Okay, so I've never taken really very many drugs at all. Medicines. We're in this video we're calling medicines drugs. Not actual drugs like my kids say. Mom, quit saying you're taking drugs. So they gave me a list because I'm not very good at remembering all of them, so I'm on a lot of them. So I'll just start with what I get when I get the actual chemo. They give me 2 types of anti-nausea. I believe one of them is a steroid mix, and I can see that she didn't write the full names of them down here, but here, let me just show you guys if I can. That might be easier. So my nurse printed me out this calendar today. Kind of hard to see it, but just to help me keep track. So this was my first chemo here, and so I think this one up here is the steroid and anti-nausea mixture. The next one is another anti-nausea, and then these are well, it looks backward, and I hope it's not going to be backward. I'll read them. Okay, so yeah, I don't know how.
They saw it.
Yeah,
so.
but it was reading backwards in the screen. Anyhow, okay, so for the 4 drugs, A, B, V, D, that go, the actual chemo treatment, there's, and I don't know if I'm going to say these correctly, but adriamycin, bleomycin, vinblastine, and dacarbazine are the 4 actual drugs. So it's ABVD. And the A, I think I had this twisted in another video. It wasn't correct. The A is actually the red one. Adriamycin, or someone will correct me, I'm sure, is the red one, and that's the one that makes your hair fall out. So.
And makes you pee red.
Yeah, and turns your urine and sweat and tears red until it's out of your system. So, anyhow, where's that? What's the next one?
Okay, number 3. How long did it take to get your chemo treatment?
Okay, so, it was a little bit different this time, the one I got today, but like I said, we'll go into that in the next video. So for the first chemo, it took, I want to say, probably about 3.5 hours, everything. For the first time, I got the 2 bags of anti-nausea medicine, and then they pushed one of them. One of the chemicals was a push, which just means that they put it in a syringe and slowly inject it themselves while I have a saline drip, I believe. You know, they slowly inject it themselves, they push it. So, that's manually done by hand instead of having it hung from a bag. So they did, with the red one they put in, the A, they pushed it, and the rest of them, the 2 anti-nauseas and the other 3 chemo chemicals, I got through a drip bag, so it was like 3.5 hours the first time. So actually I think it was the bleomycin, the B, they first did a push, like 1 unit of the B, because people tend to have allergic reactions with that one, so they wanted to check and make sure I was okay, and then since I was okay, they went ahead and gave me the rest of it.
And number 4, what did it feel like?
Getting the chemo.
Yeah.
Okay, so during the chemo, really didn't feel, the first time it wasn't too bad. It was, I could taste the saline in my mouth, and then I kind of just got like a little bit, I don't know how to explain it, just like I could feel like there was something going on, but it wasn't like I was like getting high or low or super foggy or anything. It was just like maybe like a little bit sluggish, I guess could be the word.
Okay, number 5, what were the side effects of your chemo?
Okay, the side effects of the first chemo, just the chemo, well, the first day I just got tired like I am today. I'm sure you can tell. Pretty tired, and that was about it on the first day. And then the next, I'd say 3 days, I had some nausea, and I was told that the first chemo probably wouldn't hit me very hard, but it did. I got pretty nauseated from it. And you guys saw the video where I shaved my head, so yeah, it was just to the point where I didn't want to deal with anything. I didn't even want to take a shower. And then, so along with that came fatigue. Even after the nausea went away, I was like really tired, just wanted to lay in bed, everything. So that's the main thing for that, nausea and tired.
Okay, and you already said how long they last, about 3 days.
Well, yeah, that's how long the direct,
from chemo.
Just the chemo effects lasted about 3 days hardcore, and then after that it tapered off.
Okay, we'll skip that one then because you kind of answered it. All right, what is the Neulasta shot?
Okay, so the Neulasta shot, it can be compared to, I don't know if I'll say it right, Neupogen, to the Neupogen shot. The Neulasta shot is a shot that they give me. So I get my chemos on every other Friday, and I go the following Monday to get a Neulasta shot, which is to boost my white blood cell count, I believe, and yeah, so it's boost my white blood cell count.
All right, and it says number 8. What were the side effects of the Neulasta shot?
Okay, so side effects of the Neulasta shot. Bone pain is the thing that jumps out at me because it really, really hurt. I was told today that that's probably because it was my first time. And from what I understand, the Neulasta shot is like a very strong version of the Neupogen shot. Therefore, I only have to get it once instead of several times. But I don't know. That could vary between the type of treatment that you get. You know, what chemo you get, whatever. But, yeah, so my bones hurt. Like really bad bone pain, mainly in my back and my hips, my lower back and my hips, and then my legs. But really, you know, every bone was sensitive, and it was extremely, extremely hard for a few days. And then one morning I just woke up, probably on the 4th morning I just woke up. I had taken Claritin, which is, we all know what Claritin is, and so it's an off-label use to be able to take it to try to lessen or prevent bone pain. And I took that, and I added to that Benadryl by the 3rd day because I couldn't sleep. So I woke up on the 4th morning and all the bone pain was just gone. So that was cool. So it seems like it was 3 days of chemo, major chemo reactions, and then 3 days of bone pain, and then the 4th day after the shot, which I believe was what? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, by Friday morning it was just gone, and I felt great, and I felt great up until now to getting the 2nd chemo. So a week down and a week up.
Oh, there's something we forgot. The side effect, one of the side effects from the chemo that you had the very next day.
Oh, just read my question.
Okay. Okay, it says, how long did the side effects last? You said that?
Yeah.
This is, did you have any other, oh, that's why you're having me wait.
Yeah.
Did you have any other side effects? If so, what were they and how long did they last?
Okay, so, there were a few. The one my mom was referring to was I had started the very next day after chemo, and it only lasted 24 hours, was like a tingling and a numbness, not necessarily numb, but tingling from like here to there, like in the whole palm all the way up to here. It was pretty tingly and numb. So I'm sorry this is a long video, but you know, I wanted to know these things, and so I'm spending some time talking about them. My hands, the palm of my hands, the back of my hands, all the way up to my elbow was really tingly. And, yeah, so that was a little weird. I don't know exactly what causes that. I'm assuming it's from the chemo because it started the day after I got the chemo, so I don't think it had to do with the shot. But yeah, that lasted about 24 hours and went away. And, another side effect, which nobody likes to talk about, but I'm going to because it's real life. You know, we're all grown-ups here. Was constipation. They say that you can get diarrhea or constipation. It's kind of a, you know, lucky grab bag kind of deal. So I did experience constipation, which I was not prepared for. I didn't take any medicines ahead of time because I didn't know that I was going to get the chemo. I just went in for the bone marrow biopsy and they said, oh, you can start. And I said, okay, let's do it. So I hadn't taken anything ahead of time at all. So the constipation was an issue for probably almost the whole week. Not that I didn't go, but I had to take laxatives and things like that, and I didn't take them ahead of time. So I did take them ahead of time this time, and we'll see how that goes, and that'll be for the next video. But the constipation, severe constipation, was absolutely something that happened to me this time. And also my mouth started hurting a few days after. Probably 2 days after the chemo, my mouth started hurting, like, I don't really know how to explain it, like my tongue, kind of like when you burn your tongue, how it feels raw, all around the edges, like, I don't know, it just hurt. And so popsicles really helped with that, and that lasted probably, I'd say probably about 3-4 days. So, what else? Other than that, just really tired. And then, So on a positive note, ended on a positive note, those are the things that I can remember right now, and I think I've answered any questions that other people had. I felt normal after the first week, and to me, I know that it was just normal, like every day how I would feel had I not taken chemo normal. But after being sick for a week, it was like I felt great. Like I wanted to do everything. Let's work on something. Let's go to the movies. Let's party. Let's woo. You know, I felt really good.
Yeah, but
It was like the best week ever. So it was a great way to come into the second chemo knowing that, you know, the first time I was only down for a week, so I get it every 2 weeks, so the second week is something to look forward to, and maybe more. We'll just see how this one goes. But this video is long enough, so if there's anything I missed, anything you guys want to know next time, just ask in the comments below, and I will do my best to get it in there for you. Thanks for watching.
Smile for them. Bye.
Bye.
So this is this isn't, I can't adjust these independently, but pretty much so it's two parts to this. One is a CT scan, which is a plain old CT scan on the left here, which gives you kind of what's going on, or kind of the structure of the body. And this side is where they inject you with the radioactive sugar, and the cancer cells love the sugar, so they uptake it. So it's kind of hard to tell, you know, if things are bright here where they are. So what they do is they overlay the two on top of each other, which makes it a little easier. And then make one of them colored. So it's kind of just like working down the body in this direction. So the first thing is the brain. So the brain, it uses sugar as its main source, so that's why the brain is very bright.
Right, okay.
That's normal. So as you start coming down, you usually get a little bit in the muscles under the tongue and stuff, which is normal also. But then as you get down here, there shouldn't be any uptake in these areas. So here are the lymph nodes in the neck as you come down. A little higher on the right side. And it's down to behind the clavicles here. That's probably the lymph nodes you can feel on that side. And then this is where I was looking, so it looks like there's one out there which could be in the kind of out in the axilla or interclavicular.
Is this the right? Or
so it's actually like you're laying down with your feet sticking out. So this is the left side, and this is the right side.
Oh, okay.
And in reverse. And then this is in the upper part of the chest. This is the sternum in front there. So this is the uptake down there. And then as you get down further, this is the heart, the left ventricle. That's the main one of the heart. Again, it's normal to have it there. And the esophagus runs right back here, so that's why it's
right.
On the crossfire. And then breast tissues below. So again, when we treat the axilla here, we do treat a little bit of the breast. You see most of the breast tissues down here, though, and in front of the lung. And this we try to block or shield from radiation.
Okay.
And then coming down is just background uptake from the liver. And then the kidneys kind of filter the sugar. There's so much sugar in the body, the kidneys filter it out. So that's why the kidneys will light up. And it's normal also.
So that's all the rest is normal.
And then the bowel is a little bit active, so it tends to light up. And this is all the sugar that's dumped in the bladder.
Okay.
So, and the important thing we're looking at is the inguinal nodes here are all negative. The pelvic nodes are negative.
Right there.
Yeah, the kind of groin.
Right. Okay.
Pelvic nodes are all negative, and then looking at the kind of periortic ones, which would be central here. There's nothing. And then the spleen, which looks normal.
Okay, good. Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Well,